All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the season finale for the Sunday tier, season 13 of Performance Racing League. I'm your host today, Hoop BK, and oh boy, you are in for a very good one. Probably an all-time race coming your way. Season finale, Sunday tier, three-way championship battle at Las Vegas. Place known for risk and reward. We're looking at our top driver in the standings right here, Mr. Bean, on an outlap here in qualifying. Go through each of our championship contenders as they roll in. Oh, already doing a little bit of maintenance work, taking the cone out there. Let's get everything set up. We hop too far into this one. Oh, Tar Heels on the intermediate tire. Good qualifying strat here. All right, now that we're set up, I'm Hoop BK. Very exciting race for you today. A three-way championship battle between Mr. Bean and the McLaren, Gord Sauce in the Mercedes, and GK Bass, who has a little bit of weight reduction currently. It will be joining in qualifying. All within 3 points of each other at the top of the championship standings. We'll follow Mr. Bean on a lap. He'll be the first one to lay down a time around this very cool Las Vegas street circuit. Tough to generate temperature in the tires. Some variety in setup here as well. We aim towards these winding corners in Sector 1 and Sector 2. Or try to maximize speed down the very long back straight. We'll currently have 12 drivers. It should be 13 or 14. May have a couple more trickle in, including GK Bass and the Mercedes. Mr. Bean, 55 flat through Sector 2. It's something to note as we continue through qualifying. The track rubbers in, generates a little bit more temp. Everyone finds where they're comfortable. See those times start to tumble down. Very tricky chicane after the very, very long back straight. Oh, Joe Biden, I messed that up. Joe Biden, his teammate, actually throws down the first time. But Mr. Bean immediately responds with a 130.799, right around 130.8. Almost exactly, it is exactly 7/10 faster than his teammate. I think it's a good segue into our championship standings. So McLaren still in a battle with Mercedes at the top of the Constructors' Championship. Still technically in it, but as soon as the race starts, as soon as they go to the grid, all Mercedes has to do is finish on a 16-car grid, and they will clinch their first Tier 1 Constructors' Championship since Season 5, I believe. So quite a long time coming for this for Mercedes. Say, there's GK Bass. So all Gord and GK have to do is grid, and they will clinch the Constructors for Mercedes. It's a lot more complicated for the Drivers' Championship. 3 drivers within 3 points of each other after a crucial Mr. Bean DNF last week in Zandvoort. Let's see. Is this Villeneuve coming across the line? Might be able to set a time there. Tar Heels across the line, just didn't get to him in time. On the inters, I bet those things are screaming, but he gets in the 138s. Craig on an outlap. Let's see, there was Morris. That's who I was trying to get to. I'm really bad at this whole... Why are these cars turning right? Here we go. So, where was I? 3 points, 3 drivers. Mr. Bean DNF'd under safety car, unfortunately. last week in Zandvoort. Really helped a recovering Gord Sauce, who did not have a great race, but was able to gain some points on him. And it really was great for GK Bass, who was within, what was it, 0.07 of a second of victory. Came down to the final corner, the final straight. Held off Ramsey for P2, but was passed at the line to finish second instead of first on the podium. So big points day for him, puts him right in the championship mix, he and his teammate Gord Sauce. Bass just 1 point behind Mr. Bean. Gord 3 points behind Mr. Bean. The McLaren driver looking for his second consecutive Tier 1 championship. GK Bass looking for his second in 3 tries, I believe. And Gord looking for his first Tier 1 championship after dominating the midweek class. Just ride with Craig for a little bit. See Morris in P2 on in qualifying so far. One of the most dominant drivers in the history of PRL. Has the most victories in PRL history. Missed a couple of races so far this season. Has taken him a little bit out of the championship battle. Craig P5 in the Red Bull. Only for the time, or very momentarily, as Gord Sauce takes it from him almost immediately. 131.299. Yeah, a smaller grid than we anticipated today, but maybe we'll have 1 or 2 more still come in. This is the final race on F124, I believe, for the league. Well, for the Sunday tier. Wednesday will be the last one official PRL race on F124. Possibly a good riddance, but I'm sure some drivers will miss this game a little bit. Some drivers have seen some pretty good success with F124. Got a yellow. I think it's just a car getting out of the way. Jump over to Joe, who had invalidated Gord. GK on an outlap. Craig probably on an in-lap. Sure there's too much going on. Let's go to Viper. Yep, Ghost Viper, one of the newer drivers in the league, but has shown a ton of pace. See if I can pull our standings up real quick just to see. It's impressed in midweek. I believe he's P3 in the midweek standings right now. He's on an in. Okay. Let's go to Noob, see if we get a full lap as he cuts the corner going into the outlap, or into the hot lap. So he immediately invalidates. Very unfortunate there. Yeah, Ghost Viper just 2 weeks ago got his first Tier 1 podium, P3 at Britain. About Villeneuve. Villeneuve appears to be on a hot lap. He's up 2/10 through 2 sectors. Big braking zone there. Something I thought about, I think this is one of 2 tracks on the calendar. Villeneuve improves to P9. Just one of 2 tracks where the pit lane straight is not a DRS zone. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But here in Silverstone, I believe are the only tracks where you're not in a DRS zone on the pit lane straight. There's CAC, the 11th. So which one did I miss? So I believe it was GK Bass going to P6. Mr. Bean has, I don't want to say dominated qualifying thus far this season, but I believe it's 3 poles in 9 tries. He and his teammate Joe have combined for 5. Just points add up. You get a pole point here. So yeah, Martin also has 2. GK has one, and Spin and Win has one pole in this abbreviated Season 13. Let's see. Cack looking for an improvement here. Looks like he should find some time. Heading through the final little dog leg. Finds 6/10 and puts him back in P9 where he was just a few moments ago. Getting to a little bit of a lull in the qualifying action, though we do have a couple drivers on outlaps. Here, yeah, we'll stick with Craig here. Very tight turn one, not a very long run down to turn one. Very wide, so able to go side by side a little bit through 1 and 2. 2, it really tightens on exit before the DRS zone. Leads down to turn 3, which always sees action during the race starts. There's a bump there into the braking zone. That wall comes up on you. As you see, Craig clips the outside wall there. Always action into this odd chicane by the sphere. Trevor slowing up quite a bit. You can catch the wall a bit on exit there. It's like flat out this high-speed corner with a little bit of camber, some bumps in the road, creating some elevation changes, and a tricky braking zone at the snout of the layout. And that puts you on the back straight, which it's a long, long way just to get to the DRS zone. So there's the detection point there and opens right there. Just ripping over 200 miles per hour down. Heavy braking zone. Plenty of overtakes here during the race. Through the little chicane, very tight. And once again, flat out all the way back to the line. You can cut the dog leg a bit, but not too much as we saw earlier. Craig doesn't really find any time there. About a tenth slower. Let's check in on Spin, who's up 4.5 tenths through 2 sectors. Big, heavy braking here. Catches a bit of curb and not ideal. Yep, he's lost it. Catches the curb on entry, then jumps the one into the chicane and finds the wall. I was looking for a big improvement, possibly pole position improvement, but that's when he loses a ton of time there. Spin, one of the faster drivers under 1 lap pace. Here's another very fast driver on 1 lap pace is Joe Bidome, who has a pair of pole positions this season. One-time winner in Tier 1, the Sunday tier. Has 2 P2s this season. Not really in the battle for the Drivers' Championship, but he's in his own battle. Really a three-way fight for P4 in the standings. Currently P4 belongs to Morris. Joe just 4 points behind him. And do we have Martin today, actually? No Martin. So Martin was P6. So now just a one-on-one battle for P4. Martin also one of the faster drivers in the tier. See Noob trying to get a clean lap in. Both of these should be in laps unless Spin is geared up. It doesn't look like he has. Okay, doing a cool-down lap, and now should be a push lap for Spin and Win. After a really good lap, kind of derailed the final sector. see. He's up a 10th through Sector 1. He's really going to come up on some traffic here. See the V-Carb trying to get out of the way. Big slide, though, for Spin. What is that, turn 7, maybe? Turn 6? Yeah, a lot of traffic coming up, but good place to run into him. Maybe get a little bit of slipstream. I'm sure in real life the V-Carb would provide quite a bit of slipstream for the Red Bull. Might not happen here. We saw a purple Sector 2. So all the drivers out on track to get their final... Oh, once again, catching a lot of curb on the inside. Not unsettling the car as much as it did previously. So Justin throws down a lap and spin a win to the top of the board, a 130.4. Let's see. GK providing a bit of a tow for Gord, it appears. He'll be our next driver across the line. Whew, big slide and catches the wall on exit. Doesn't lose too much speed. He's looking to jump into that top 3. Gord Sauce across the line. Whew, so close. 6 thousandths, but does not quite get to Joe. Joe on an out. Mr. Bean on an out lap. Morris improving, but only by a little bit as the checker flag waves on the session. This is GK Bass, got this in the bag. He might. Battling your own teammate, though, in a championship battle should be interesting. A little Rosberg-Hamilton going on, but it's almost now officially locked down a championship. So you've got the Haas coming across the line. A little bit of a bump for Ghost Viper into P7. Morris, the PRL legend, coming towards the dog leg. How much time can he find? Enough for P2, about a 10th. But Spin still miles up the road. Mr. Bean invalidated. What about Joe? Joe also invalidated. So the McLarens will not have any chance to improve. GK Bass towed by his teammate down the very long back straight. He'll be the next one across the line. I didn't see a split. He has about a second to find to get into that pole position battle. How much can he find? Up to P4. In the 139. So about a half a second. Let's see, is that Craig about to come across the line? We'll get to him real quick. No improvement. There we go. Grid has been set. 13-car grid for the finale. The McLarens both falling apart on their final push laps, both invalidating. And yeah, very nice to see some teamwork here in a championship fight. They are fighting each other in the championship battle. That there is just a point separating the two. 2 points. 2 points separating the two. And despite that, Mercedes working together, giving each other the slipstreams, and putting together very similar laps time-wise. They will sandwich the McLaren of Joe Biden on the grid. So Spin and Win picks up his second pole position of Season 10. Morris a quarter second behind in P2 in the V-Carb. Our championship leader, Mr. Bean, P3. One of his rivals, GK Bass, P4. Joe Biden, P5. Gord Sauce, P6, just inside the 130s. Bit of a gap to Ghost Viper in P7. CAC, Noob, Justin in the top 10. We have Craig, Villeneuve, and Tar Heels on the intermediates, routing out the 13-car grid. Gonna step aside real quick to get some water. I'm going to need as much of my voice as possible. So we have that info in our Discord server. Get to read out the standings real quick. For the drivers' standings, we have Mr. Bean at 225 points, Bass behind him at 224, and then Gord at 222. Yes, thank you, Ramsey, for... yes, we do have the link in our description on Twitch. If you'd like to join, please join. We'd love to have you. It's the end of the season for F124. We have one more race for Wednesday night, kind of geared towards our North American drivers. But please check it out. Join us for next season. So is that top three? Morris 4th at 155. Joe Bidome 5th at 151. Martin, Viking side, P6 at 146. So a nice little battle there. Villeneuve in P7 at 118. Rusty P8 at 109. And then Noob 105 points. Ghost Viper P10 at 98. Craig 11th with 81. Justin on his heels with 78. And Tar Heels 74. We're all nearby. See, Spin and Win is P15, but this is only his third race with us in this tier this season. He has 45 points. But when he showed up, it's been 2 top 5s. Oh, that's not good. Here we go. 4, 5 red lights, and they are out. We are underway at Las Vegas for the season finale. Very short run down to turn 1. Spin covers off Morris. Mr. Bean, P3. We have a McLaren and Mercedes side by side. We trickle through to turn 3. No DRS on the first lap, of course. Gets a little sketchy here in turn 3. Big braking zone. Wall comes up on you very quickly. We'll go through the field side by side. That's Justin and Noob. Go, so Spin and the early stages of lap 1, holding off Morris, holding off Mr. Bean. Not too many movers thus far. Actually, let me get... I don't really need that. Do some position changes. Here we go. Actually, yes, we'll take a look at the tires as Joe gets by GK Bass. It's a long straightaway to hold him off, though. A lot of medium and hard. Tar Heel starting on the softs. So a lot of movement on this back straight. Oh, very wide for the Alpine in the background. That was Noob. And that's going to create a huge gap from P6 to P7. Noob, cars all over his rear wing of the Alpine. I have Craig, Ghost Viper, Justin all right there. Dives to the inside, does not get a good look though. I know we gotta have a battle at the front, but wow, a lot of movement here in the back. We'll try to hold it off, but there'll be DRS available for every driver behind. Try to go somewhat defensive. Craig will get all the way to the inside and complete the overtake. Oh, car on the wall. There's a Haas there. Could have been Ghost Viper. Finds the wall. Lost the end plate there. So a little sketchy in the back, and after all of that, I'm sure Morris slam dunk DRS overtake. Sorry to have missed that. And Morris now has a chance to show off his pace. One of the fastest drivers in PRO history. And oh, I was going to say Mr. Spin and Win finds the wall there, and he does. That allows Mr. Bean by. Remember that battle between the top three, essentially whoever finishes highest of those three wins the championship. Mercedes locking down the constructors just by showing up here today. Ooh. Seemed like the Mercedes took a lot of curb there. So now Morris will lead lap 2. Spinning when going from first to third on that lap with getting past in the DRS zone and then a bit of a wobble there onto the back straight. And Mr. Bean looking to find a little bit more comfort, a little bit more space between him and his championship rivals, who sit P5 and P6. GK falling down the order 1. No movement at that time. There we go. Almost 4 seconds back to P7, and this just a gaggle of cars overtakes that time. Okay, the Mercedes actually a second behind. I'm not sure. And here we go. Probably a little bit of a battery dump just to get into the DRS zone. There's a little bit of concern there. Morris and Mr. Bean exchanging on the back straight. A DRS overtake for Mr. Bean, our championship leader, to the top of the board. Yeah, the Mercedes having a bit of struggles, it seems. They have fallen away rather quickly outside of that 1 second margin needed to get DRS. They are on the hard tire, though. It would also explain how Spinowin got past so quickly. So Bean, Morris, Joe, Justin, and Craig all on mediums. Tar Heels on the softs, and everyone else on the hards. It's hard to maintain tire temperature here. It's a little bit tougher as Gord and GK Bass exchange spots in the DRS zone. Maybe Gord getting a chance to get to the back of Joe, get into DRS, as GK hasn't been able to do it thus far. Yeah, more teamwork from the Mercedes pair here. They are obviously racing each other, but it doesn't matter if they can't get back to Mr. Bean, who leads this race. I'm sure the gloves will come off if they're able to catch that McLaren. But now the objective is just to get close, right? Joe gets by Spin there with DRS. Morris might get close, but won't really make an attempt as the Mercedes continue to fall back. As just being a part of this 4-car train gets you that much more speed. You see the pair in the background. Morris to the outside, pokes his nose out. Does not make an attempt on Bean as Joe throws down the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, Mr. Bean out front in the 134.5 range. Joe, a 133.4. The other two drivers in this group, a 133.9. But the Mercedes well into the 134s. A flat 134 for Gord and a 134.7 for GK Bass. We'll keep an eye on those times. Seems that this is the style of racing that Las Vegas lends to. It's groups of cars within DRS of each other. And really, this is the big part of track for the overtakes. So we see Joe get by Morris. Still side by side. Ooh, Spin very deep into the the heavy braking zone there, and he's going to lose a bit more time. We saw him make that mistake in qualifying as well. Morris and Joe still side by side for P2. Morris covers it off. So Joe got by on the DRS straight, but Morris getting back around on the front straight. We're still playing nice up here. I kind of want to go back into this group. Led by Noob, Justin, and Craig with a mirror full of Haas. Both Cack and Ghost Viper right on his rear. Once again, Joe and Morris exchanging spots with DRS. Let's see if Morris can make it a 2-for-1, but can't quite get all the way to the rear bumper, or the rear wing, excuse me, of Mr. Bean. Cack got by Craig, it appears. And Justin getting by Noob. Yeah, not a great start for the Mercedes pair, but they are on the hard tires. The hards don't feel very good here. From the midweek race, I can recall the hards just not really having a ton of pace. Medium, certainly the superior tire. And Tar Heel's already ditching the softs. He goes on to the white-walled hards. He was starting at the back, hoping to make up some spots on the softs, but it hasn't really happened for him. Whew. Quartet of cars all within a second of each other at the front. Yeah, really bunched up through that section. I'm expecting the window to be 10 to 12 laps on the mediums. We'll see if that's actually the case. Morris finally gets a shot on Mr. Bean. Been battling Joe for P2 in previous laps. Holds off Joe, gets to the lead McLaren, and takes the lead of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We've had 3 leaders so far already through 7 laps around the Las Vegas street circuit. Where's the bump drafting? Yeah. Hey, with a straightaway like that, maybe you can get away with some bump drafting. Mr. Bean will have another chance to get back around the V-carb, though, and return to P1. Does get DRS and gets to the inside. They'll be side by side, but Mr. Bean gets the edge there and returns to the top of the grid. Everyone's still playing nice here in this group. Craig starting to fall away a little bit. I say that it's tough to put temperature into the tires here. It's a cooler racing surface. You can generate temp through load though, and it doesn't really. It's not cold tires lead to no tire wear. It's cold tires lead to suboptimal conditions for the tire. Hard to get grip as Mr. Bean. Well, Morris gets by Mr. Bean once more. Let's see if Joe will try to get by his teammate. He doesn't. The Mercedes duo, they exchange positions once again. But the loads putting the tires around Las Vegas. Some high-speed corners. Just makes for very uneven wear. Something that drivers have to pay attention to. And it doesn't create awesome tire temperatures. I mean, you're cooking one, and the other three are still rather cool. Like somewhat saving my voice still in the early stages. I think plenty more to come as we actually get a side-by-side battle towards the sphere. Ooh, Hosko sliding as Noob muscles his way by Cax Supreme. There we go. Not too many places you can go side-by-side here, but Noob gives it a try and gets the position. It's by the Haas. Yeah, definitely their own race back here. Justin leading this train. We'll jump back to the front. So we'll get some DRS overtakes. And the McLarens go side by side. We go 3 wide. Mr. Morris in the middle. And the McLarens go to 1-2. Double overtake on the V-Carb. Great stuff from the Papaya McLarens. Mr. Bean back into the lead. Joe. Ooh, Mr. Morris. I'm going to keep doing that now. You have been bestowed as Mr. Morris. He gets to the inside of Joe, trying to get back around. That turns it to the outside. Tough to go side by side here. Not a lot of traction, but he will hold on to P2. Great battle there. Spin and win right on the back of Joe, looking to pounce on a mistake that doesn't really come through this section. So the McLarens go 3 wide on Morris. Go to either side of him. Big slide there. Tough. That's a tough braking zone into the little chicane by the sphere. Yeah, Morris seems a little bit wobbly here. So was McLaren 1-2. Oh man, spinning the wall. Spin sliding around in the background. My goodness. And through all of this, the Mercedes are back. They have rejoined the party. That's exactly what they wanted. They have slowly chipped away, and all of a sudden they're within a second. This is now a 6-car party onto the back straight. All within DRS. Yeah, Morris will return the favor here, get to the inside. I feel like these 3 on the mediums have not gotten the separation they've wanted from the hard runners. Spin is hung right there, and oh yeah. We have our first takers, just 9 or 10 laps, full 10 laps on the mediums. Morris and Joe. Yeah, as I was saying, they really didn't get the separation they'd hoped for from the hard runners. But they will go onto the hard tires. Kind of a bit of an undercut. See how close they come out with. Yeah, they come out right into traffic. We'll join them. Yeah, Morris just ahead of Villeneuve and just 3 seconds up the road to this like nightmare. This quartet of cars battling in the midfield. It will slow him up. And Joe, even worse, comes out behind Villeneuve. Oh, did I miss that? Oh no. We've lost Gortsas. How did I miss that? Gortsas has had some difficulties with his PlayStation overheating. It's dropped him out of a couple of races so far this season in both tiers, and I imagine that's been the case. Man, yeah, just like that, 7 seconds and climbing rapidly. That is just brutal. As Mr. Bean will jump into the pit lane. Oh. Here, let me see if I can send him an invite really quick. Hopefully his PlayStation's back on. Yeah, that is brutal. And speaking of brutal, Justin picks up a 10-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. He was a part of that big battle in the midfield. Man, that is just rough. Yeah, Gord rapidly dropping towards the Noob, CAC, Ghost Viper party in the midfield, and there, he's back in. But man, that's really rough. Yeah, not the first time it's happened this season, but you really don't want it to happen in the final race. As Morris and Ghost Viper, whew, Morris side by side, he's just caught between the Haas's. This will hold him up quite a bit, and yeah, bring Joe right into this party. He is pushing the lead Haas of CAC. Whoa. Pushing CAC Supreme through that corner. CAC all over the track, and Joe has joined them, but they're going to go 3 wide. They'll go 3 wide, trying to... Freudian, yes, indeed. He's pushing CAC through that corner. And both Morris and Joe come out ahead of the 2 Haas. But man, Haas really made him work for it. Let's see if maybe a little bit of working together here. But they're right on the back of Noob, who's right on the back of Gord, who has been able to rejoin. But man, just brutal. 15 seconds he's lost. He was right on the back of his teammate. Championship battle, at least possibly in the fight for P2, if not championship battle. And now he's 15 seconds back. And he's leading the DRS train, which is certainly not what you want. It'll be a head-to-head battle with him and Noob at this point for the P5, P6, really possibly P7. And he's got Morris, who is already pit. So really a pit stop difference between Gord and Morris. A spin and win at the front. Gets by GK. Just a DRS overtake. I really want to focus on this midfield battle as the leaders have yet to pit. Yep, Gord can't hold off Morris. He's on the older tires. Morris on the new hards. Side by side. Joe will get through as well. Man, just a struggle. Well, I feel like we saw in the back Mr. Bean kind of struggle to get through the chicane there. He's on new hards. See what kind of lap times are thrown down. Yep, fastest lap of the race for Morris. Bunch of DRS overtakes. It's a 133.3. Let's see, Joe 133.4. Gord in the 135s. It's rough. Mr. Bean in the 133s, so still losing a ton of time. So kind of surprised Gord didn't box there to go on to the mediums. Maybe trying to stretch it out just a little bit longer. We saw the medium runners ditch after 10 laps, so maybe he still needs another 2 laps just to get into that window. And Morris already stretching his gap to Joe. So GK and Spin, once again, passing each other. We've got a car around and some yellows near the back. Just for the moment. So like Joe might have had DRS there. So he sticks to the back of Morris as our lead cars go into the pit lane. They won't exchange positions at all. Spin onto the softs. All right. Mixing it up a little bit. Let's see how that works out for him. And was that Noob and Gord speeding in the pit lane? Did I see that correctly? We'll check in a second. So Morris and Joe at the top of the board. Now Mr. Bean actually P3. He was caught in a little bit more traffic, went a little bit longer. So he's kind of undercut there by Morris and Joe. Gord battling Craig, trying to get out of the pit lane. Oh, man, just a disaster. And yes, it looks like that's a 10-second penalty for Mr. Sauce. And he's behind the Red Bull of Craig. Really wants to get out in front of him, stretch his legs, show off the new rubber, the speed that comes with the new mediums, and get the hell away from Noob, who also has a 10-second penalty. Justin as well in that group. Cac, he must have been around. He must have been the one that spun out and brought out that yellow. See, he's 10 seconds back, also on new mediums. So we're starting to see a little bit of a spread. That 6-car group has started to spread out a little bit as, man, that disconnect has really hurt Gord. Still a couple drivers left to pit, but he is currently P9. Let's see if we can get the DRS overtake. We'll hop to him real quick. No one gets motion sickness from the camera jumping around. Gord and Noob, they went 3 wide there with the Red Bull of Craig. They'll be side by side. Noob doesn't quite stick his nose in. Ooh, Justin kind of sticks his nose in with Craig. He won't try to make a move, though. Ghost Viper into the pits. Villeneuve staying out. He'll take the position. Moves to P6 on track. Let's see, Mr. Bean starting to cut in. I believe that was a 133.2 that came across your screen, the fastest lap of the race. Get some of our first track limits warnings and penalties. A reminder that drivers get a bonus of 2 points if they do not get any warnings for track limits. So 2-point bonus there. Also 2-point bonus for fastest lap. And a pole point, which will go to spin and win. So we're kind of cutting in towards his teammate for P2, but still over 2 seconds. And Joe has lost DRS, so Morris out in front, not under any threat currently. Mr. Bean definitely under threat from GK Bass and Spin and Win. 3 different tire compounds here in this battle for P3. The final spot on the podium. Go to Gord real quick. He'll have to defend against Noob. Gord goes defensive. Noob takes the position on the outside. And comes to P7. For the time being, at least. See the Haas's exchange spots in P11. Villeneuve jumps into the pit lane. He'll be our last driver to pit. He went 16 laps on those hards. I wonder if that puts the softs in play. I wasn't expecting... Yep, there we go. I wasn't expecting the softs for Spin and Win. But he's put down the fastest lap of the race. First lap in the 132s, I believe. Yeah, 132.7. He's right on the back of GK Bass. But also can't overdo it too early. I mean, you want the track position, obviously. You want to be able to get by Mr. Bean and possibly get a chance to speed off towards P2. So just kind of hot in the dirty air in the DRS. Yeah, man, the disconnect for Gord has cost him a pit stop, essentially. Stuck with Noob, Justin, Craig. Will ultimately be a battle for P6, well, P7 if Craig doesn't pick up penalties. No overtakes that time, and Spin maybe backing off a touch. Yeah, a couple of battles here on track still. So a couple personal bests that lap. There's actually a couple more drivers coming across the line. It's really a personal best for Morris, I believe, a 133.2. So So we watch this battle. Ooh, still very, very close. Gord got by Noob and actually must have been into turn 1 because he still has DRS. Or turn 2. So missed a good move there from Gord, but he will take P6. Let's see if he can get away from this. Ooh, tricky braking. You can see the rear kind of step out of the Mercedes. He already has a second on the Alpine. So when he can maintain it, still got to get to that DRS detection point on the back straight. I try not to show any of the telemetry in the broadcast. I mean, you never know who's watching. Oh man, Mr. Bean swamped by Spin and Win and GK. So they have been all over the back of him for a few laps. Oh, a car's around, that's it. Oh, GK Bass. Big shunt. Car is not retired, but he still has to get turned back around. Just an awful day for Mercedes, and that will bring out a yellow. Local yellow. See GK going to jump into the pit lane. Yeah, I'm sure he will. The wing is completely gone. We got the back end of that. Looks like Spin, Mr. Bean, all coming together with GK, and maybe a little bit of touch on exit of the chicane, maybe not expecting a car to come through as slowly as they did. Looked like it may have been to the inside of another car, and a little touch sends him off into the inside wall. And yeah, GK Bass all the way to P12, puts on the new softs, has to put the new wing on. Comes out ahead of Villeneuve. Just a nightmare of a race for Mercedes. Did we lose him again? It looks like it. Yeah, as I'm saying, it's a nightmare race for Mercedes. Fortunately, Gord Sauce disconnects once more. And once you're gone 2 times, the game is really a pain in the butt to let you back in, because it might just retire you. We saw Spin and Mr. Bean and Joe. So they have caught Joe and passed him, sent him back to P4. Been rolling around at P2 for a bit. So Spin on the charge with the newish now softs. Took a little bit of a gamble, I thought, to go onto the soft tire with 10 laps to go, but it's worked so far for him. He's got a pair of McLarens in the background. Holds them off this time. Almost identical lap times last time for Spin and Mr. Bean. 133.606 and 133.608. So it shows what the DRS does. Noob to the inside of Justin for what is now P5. Let me see if I can get Gordon one more time. He's not even showing online currently. I'm not even sure it'll let him in. Or if the invite even goes through when he's not online. Yeah, truly rough. A lot of drivers have been EA'd multiple times this season. It's been a very frustrating go. It's happened to me this year, or this season, twice. Once. It's happened to Gord a couple of times. Yeah, midweek last week, our 2 midweek championship contenders both got EA'd and couldn't get back into the race. Both in the top 5, falling to 13th and 14th. Very frustrating. Mr. Bean back out in front of this group with Joe. They both got by Spin and Win. That's not what you want to see as a Red Bull driver. Maybe he rage quit. I don't think he did. He's really had some issues with his PlayStation recently, where it'll just like turn off in the middle of a race. I think that's more likely than the rage quit. I know it's the final race of the year. or final race of the season. You know, we get very frustrating. I don't think it was a rage quit. Mr. Bean leads this trio back onto the back straightaway here, very long. I don't know the distances. I'm not going to pretend to know. I don't know it in miles. I definitely don't know it in kilometers. He's got a little bit of a gap to his teammate, but with the DRS now open, Joe gets right to the rear, gets to the inside. He'll have the inside line, and will complete the pass. A little deep, though. Gets a little iffy on exit, and I think it's going to set Mr. Bean up very well for a little overtake here on the front straight. Spin can only watch in the background, and all that momentum seems to have kind of stalled out for the Red Bull driver. Noob and Justin go side by side. Noob will get the DRS overtake. And Kak gets by the Ghost of Gord and Ghost Viper as well. Villeneuve at Tar Heels. Making some moves in the back. Tar Heel started on the softs. One of the first ones to pit. Hasn't really worked out for him back where he started. Joe gets by Mr. Bean in the DRS zone. The underside as GK Bass throws down the fastest lap. Man, after all of that, after the really rough, the spin out and crash for GK Bass, now the disconnect for Gord. GK still might end up P2. Truly a race to forget with Mercedes. It was a huge, hotly contested championship battle, and Mr. Bean has just kind of rolled around up front. He gets past his teammate for P2. So they out-qualified both of the McLarens. Well, Mr. Bean out-qualified both Mercedes. Had a couple spots difference to them. Tire offset helped him pull away from that duo. And then with the issues for Gord's connection and the spin for GK Bass, just kind of run away with it. Kind of how Morris has ended up running away with this race. It's a 4-second gap, still 3 laps to go in the closing stages. But Morris looking for his 30th PRL victory as GK gets by Gord. 30th is the most. Heck, 29th is the most all-time for the league. Adds on to that tally if he can hold on. Lost a couple tenths there. I think the McLaren's holding up spin has really benefited Morris. I'm not sure if spin would have gotten to him anyway, but and we won't know for sure. Oof. It's been a big wobble there. I think the setup has been aimed towards speed for spin, but the lack of stability has hurt him at times. Joe and Mr. Bean exchanging spots. I'm going to try one more time to get Gord back in. Just a very frustrating experience. I know he's wanted this one bad. He's been able to... He's had a lot of success in midweek for looking on a possibly 5th consecutive midweek championship, but he really wanted Tier 1, and he was in the fight all the way to the end in a very frustrating way for the season end. Spin must have had a real issue. He's now 4 seconds behind that McLaren duo. And I had just been talking about the lack of stability in the Red Bull, it seems. Very accurate, I think. Lore accurate. So that those first couple of laps on the softs, yeah, as you can see him hitting the curb there on the inside and sliding around that corner. That's a tricky corner anyway with how the curb is set up. But yeah, lost a ton of time. Sometime last lap on the 136s. Joe and Mr. Bean will continue to pass each other, play a little DRS tag, as we head towards the final lap of Season 13, the final lap of F1 24 for our Sunday tier. And Morris, one of the greatest to ever do it in Performance Racing League, kind of rejoined this season after taking last season off. Hasn't been able to do every single race, but put himself in the midst of a championship battle for quite a bit of this season. See GK Bass getting by CAC. He's stuck behind Ghost Viper. Morris always has had a ton of speed. And, uh-oh. That's not good. I was about to... I was about to put out this heartfelt final lap of the season, and I just got disconnected. So, what a fantastic season! Congratulations to, I'm assuming Mr. Bean takes the victory there, the championship win. And congratulations to Morris for presumably winning the race. There was still a half lap to go for me. It's like, you know what? There's one lap to go. We're ending the race. Yeah, Michael Masi for sure. I'm assuming that the race is still going on, but I got kicked. I got EA'd. I hope that's the case. That's truly diabolical, though. That means I can't officially run through the final results. I can only guess. So, congratulations to Morris, unofficially on your 30th PRL victory. Congratulations to Mr. Bean on your second consecutive Sunday tier win, championship. McLaren's truly fantastic this season, but they lose out to Mercedes and the Constructors' Championship. Congratulations to the Mercedes duo for their first Constructors' Championship in Tier 1, Sunday Tier, Premier, whatever you want to call it. Their first since Season 5. Truly heartbreaking for GK Bass and Gord to end the season like that. A truly rough day for Mercedes. But once again, congrats on the Constructors. Who else? Who else was doing well before I was banished from... Yeah, what a way to end F1 24. This is truly the F1 24 experience. Getting kicked out of the lobby mid-race. What else do we have? Who else can we shout out here? Morris holding off Joe for P4 in the standings. A great season from Joe. I think one of the few... Actually, let's see. No, so Joe, congratulations on P5. And I want to shout out the 4 drivers that did all 10 rounds of our championship this season. So that was Mr. Bean, GK Bass, and Gord Sauce, and Villeneuve, a staple to our grid. Congratulations to the 4 of you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just yammering at this point. I'm kind of pissed off that happened. But that's truly the EA experience. And let me go into the Discord to make sure it didn't happen to everyone. hopefully someone else. Yeah. Okay, so it was I got kicked. All right, that's fine. I'm glad I wasn't the alternative where everyone else got kicked though. So thanks for tuning in. Sorry that happened to everyone, but I hope I was able to provide some decent comms for you guys. Maybe we'll have some comms on Wednesday for our finale for midweek. Oh. So it did happen to you too, Villeneuve. Okay. Yeah, what the hell? All right, we've been EA'd. Tune in on Wednesday if that happens. And thanks for tuning in today. We put on a good show for you guys. We'll see you next season. This has been Hoop BK. Peace out.